question. Why hasn't Dave Chappelle ever made any jokes about being cloned and or MK Ultra'd? The question itself is a bit of proof that he is in fact either a clone and or he's been MK Ultra'd. The question itself should definitely spark some things in your mind to make you really think, because, again, just the question itself, it's a very curious fucking thing. We're talking about Dave Chappelle, one of the known greatest comedians around at this time, and for at least over a decade. Considering his personality type, considering how he is as a comedian, why hasn't he ever made a joke about being cloned and or MK Ultra'd? It's been over 7 years since he came back looking all different. I remember even seeing one of his specials or stand-up where he had his pant leg up, which the whole one pant leg up actually is a representation of Freemasonry. So no matter what way you look at it, the fucker's sold out. It's not the same Dave Chappelle that we once knew. So he's either a clone or he's MK Ultra'd, or both. But it's not the same Dave Chappelle. Now back to the fact that he is the way he is as we used to know him. We're talking about a comedian that has made jokes about a baby on the corner selling crack. He's able to make jokes like that, but you're telling me he's never been able to make a joke about the accusations of him being a clone or MK Ultra? You tell me nobody finds that weird? Like, let's say you are Dave Chappelle, or you're a comedian, and you're well known to the world. And you know that he's heard these accusations. You know he's heard that people have the theory, conspiracy theory if you want. Fucking pop-ups. Conspiracy theory or not, you know he's heard of the accusations, or at least the theory. And yet he's never made jokes about it. He's never even responded in a real-life situation, any interviews or anything. No fan response, nothing. To the fact that people think maybe he's cloned or he's been MK Ultra'd. How come he hasn't responded whatsoever? And by the way, I just looked it up on YouTube and Google, checking different ways, looking for the same answer, same question, to see if he has ever responded to that. And there ain't shit. There's not one fucking video, there's not one fucking forum where he's talking about it. So again, let's say you're Dave Chappelle, or you're a comedian like him, and people have accused you of possibly being a clone or MK Ultra. You're telling me you wouldn't ever respond to that? I mean, if it's true, if it's not true, my fault. But if it's not true, there'd be no reason to not say that. It wouldn't be hard to talk about it, like, yeah, I know there's these accusations of me being cloned or MK Ultra, but what the fuck? I'm not. The fact that he hasn't responded whatsoever to this, and he hasn't even made any jokes about this, that makes him look really suspicious. Like I said, I think it's proof in itself that he's never said shit about it, let alone make a joke. Because, again, if you're Dave Chappelle and you heard these accusations and you knew they weren't true, do you have any idea how much material you would have cracking jokes about it? And again, we're talking about Dave Chappelle's personality type that he used to be. He would absolutely make jokes about it. Like, if it's not true, then have fun with it. Make jokes. In fact, he'd have so much material that he could make a special about it. An entire 1 hour plus special making fun of the idea that he's been cloned or MK Ultra'd, and yet nothing whatsoever, not one joke, has been made by him about these accusations. I mean, again, if you were Dave Chappelle or if you were a comedian, even not being a comedian, you could come up with plenty of material just on that subject matter, making fun of the idea that you've been cloned or MK Ultra'd. So yeah, it is very fucking weird that he's never made jokes about it, let alone he's never even responded to it. Something's really wrong with that. Like I said, you don't even have to be a comedian to know that you would have plenty of material for that shit. And then with this whole Cat Williams scenario being on Shannon Sharp's show, the way he responded to that, like talking shit about Cat Williams being wrong for what he said and did being on that show, that's another form of proof that he's a sellout. He's a fucking hypocrite. He's a sellout. He's an Uncle Tom. He's not the Dave Chappelle we once knew. Like, why did he go against what Cat Williams was saying when Cat Williams was just speaking truth? Truth that needs to be spoken. And I don't see this hypocrite Dave Chappelle fucking doing as he's telling Cat Williams should be doing, which is exposing the white man who's in charge of all this shit. Well, I don't see Dave Chappelle doing that either. So it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, you hypocrite? And I'm glad that people have been against him as far as him responding in a bad way to Cat Williams. Because already, at least we, the conspiracy theorists, the ones who know truth beyond the bullshit matrix and what the matrix says, we've been known this guy's not the same Dave Chappelle. Cloned MK Ultra, one way or the other, he's a sellout. And this whole responding against Cat Williams is just more reinforcement. So by this time, you're seeing that everybody's catching up to the understanding that it is true, that at least it's understood that Dave Chappelle's a fucking sellout, and he very well may be a clone or MK Ultra. I mean, I personally lean more towards the MK Ultra, but if he's a clone, I wouldn't be surprised either. But either way, he's a fucking sellout. It really aggravated me when he responded the way he did to Cat Williams. Like, you fucking hypocrite, man. Why don't you go on the Oprah show and do your little whatever, fucking... Either way, so yeah, I just wanted to do this question video, and in these question videos, it's going to be a series asking questions that have a lot of sense to them, a lot of, it'll make you think. And it'll also make you think, how come nobody's ever even asked this question? Why haven't you asked yourself this question? Like, why hasn't Dave Chappelle ever made a joke about him being cloned and or MK Ultra? It's a really good fucking question. And the reason it's such a good question is because it really makes you think, like, this motherfucker probably is a fucking clone, or at least he's MK Ultra. It's fucked up. But either way, I'm gonna ask questions like this that nobody seems to be asking, even though everybody should be asking it. And questions like it. So I figured this would be a good start video for this series. Question. Why this? Why that? I think that's pretty much all I have to say right now about this particular subject. But yeah, this video's been question. Why hasn't Dave Chappelle ever made a joke about being cloned and or MK Ultra? Until next time, boys and girls, God is good, God is great, God is wonderful. Fuck Satan, she's a clone. Jesus Christ, on the other hand, is the real thing. Jesus Christ is the man.